Everybody. We are here for a 9 a.m. InfoCity lecture because our guest is from very far away, and we really feel it's important to go very far away because you don't build an InfoCity unless it's informed by what's happening globally, because all of our countries are in this process together, for better or for worse, and innovation comes from everywhere. So we hope we don't have too many technical glitches, but if so, we'll just restart. And I first want to introduce the student, as we always do, who's going to introduce our speaker today, and that's Anna Shushitsky, who's right here. So thank you, Anna.
Good morning, everyone. This morning, I'd like to introduce Hui Yan. Hui Yan is an associate professor at Nankai University in Tianjin, China, and a research affiliate with the Community Informatics Research Lab at the University of Illinois. His research interests include community informatics, digital inequality, information policy, and content industry, and he has published numerous research articles investigating these issues. Professor Yan received both his BA and MS in library science from Nankai University, and he completed his PhD in information science at Peking University in 2010. His doctoral dissertation was entitled Digital Inequality in Chinese Communities and Information Institution for Public Benefits, and he was co-advised by Peking University's Miao-Sheng Lai and GISLIS's own Dr. Kate Williams and Dr. Abdul Alkalimat. Today, Professor Yan will be presenting his latest field research on the self-attribution of residents on their digital poverty. Please welcome Professor Hui Yan.
Okay, it's my time, right?
Yep.
Oh, can you hear me, everybody?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Noah. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning.
I'm Hui Yan, and you must know some background of my, degrees and also my research. I want to give a more detailed information on myself. Currently, associate professor in the Department of Information Resources Management, Business School of Nankai University. I earned my bachelor and master degrees from Nankai University and a doctorate degree from Peking University. From 2008 to 2009, I ever visited Community Informatics Research Lab at your campus and did research with Dr. Kate Williams and Abdul Alkalimat. Okay, let's move to my topic today. You can see my slide, right? The first page, my topic today will be how do rural residents attribute their distance from information city, self-attribution of digital poverty. There will be 5 parts in my presentation. And this is second page. First, definitions of the key concepts. Second, research question. Third, research methods for discover questions, answers to the questions. Fourth, research findings. And finally, implications for policy and future research. Okay, next page. Before defining concepts, I would like to share a few moments in our study. You can see photos on slide page 4. These photos are selected from our field study in Dianzhou County of Gansu and Jinhai of Tianjin. The top left picture is taken from a new married family in Jinhai, and the computer is placed in their bedroom, but not connected with the internet. Because the bride and the groom are working as migrants in urban and only stay at home for a few days each year. Okay, you can see my slide, right?
We're troubleshooting it right now.
Okay, no problem. Should I wait for you or go ahead?
I think it might. I think what we might do is turn yours around and you move the slide and everybody can see, at least see small.
Yeah.
because it's not opening on my device either.
Yeah, I think we got them to open on one device, so we're going to make sure that people can see them. So I think you can go ahead then, Wei, because we have them open on one device so people can see them.
Okay. Oh, I can wait a few minutes, no problem. If you can wait.
Okay, but make it big.
Could we go ahead?
What slide are you on, Hui?
I can wait a few minutes
Okay.
if you need time.
Okay, yeah, I think it's good. Can you see it a little bit? Is that better?
It's a suggestion.
Okay.
Okay, I'm talking in the page 4, which includes several pictures.
Okay.
Right? You can say.
Okay.
Okay, we can see it.
Okay, good. I'll continue. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. The top left picture is taken from a few married family in Shanghai, and the computer is placed in their bedroom, but not connected with the internet, because the bride and groom are working as migrants in urban and only stay at home for a few days. The girl in the purple stared at me with clear and expecting eyes, and stood by us to listen and try to understand my interview with her daddy. She must be wondering what my interview would bring her family and may be curious about my so-called research. The top right picture is a snapshot of one of our focus groups in Gansu. The right middle photo was taken by me on Abdul's interview with a village woman and her son. Kate must remember it, right? And they were, learning how to use Kate's iPad. The bottom right one was the moment I taught one grocery owner to use software, and his son and daughter were also curious about what we did on my machine. This is page 4. Please move to page 5. On page 5, the top left man with their own grapes in hands smiled at me to show their sense of pride and hospitality. The left man in the picture is owner of the plastic greenhouse which produced the grapes. He cannot use computer or mobile internet at all. He relied on his grandson to search information to prevent grape diseases. Once upon a time, his grapes faced terrible insects, and even the expert from Northwest Agriculture University didn't help him, effectively. His grandson searched a peculiar prescription from Baidu, and finally succeeded in stopping the insects. After that moment, he shared his experiences with neighbors and became experts among the local grape grocers. In the top right picture, Dr. Kate Williams was showing the sister and her younger brother how to use iPad. And they are also interested in the equipment and, of course, foreigners. This is their first time to touch iPad and foreigner. Her shyness, curiosity, and surprise impressed me, for a long time. Sometimes I feel, guilty on the fact that I could not provide them anything or any digital devices or digital services as part of library professionals. The bottom right picture is from Guizhou province, and a young man who's a migrant worker was using computer with temporary mobile internet connection. Long-time, broadband is still luxury for young migrant worker who stays at home for only several days during a spring festival. The bottom left is a female officer in charge of women issues in the village in Anhui province. He cannot use keyboard, and therefore the government bought a handwriting tablet to help her finish any typing bonus. I was teaching here to chat with your daughter in urban village in the picture, in the urban college, I'm sorry. This is information on the pictures of slide 5. And I'm trying to move to the page 6. Okay, this is the first concept which will be used in my research, digital poverty. Digital poverty is a new form of poverty caused by ICT, and which are, the manifestations of which are lack of psychological, physical, and literacy in preparation for residents' access and usage of ICT. And page 7, there's a model, and Xiudai has to help me to, move one step by step. Okay, because I have some, special moments in the model. Okay, the figure is a digital poverty alleviation process, which includes at least 3 steps to overcome psychological, physical, and literacy barriers. The model was proposed by me 2 years before. There are 4 models to reach the digital, or 4 ways to reach the digital middle class level. The first is psychological, physical, and then literacy. This is a way to alleviate digital poverty on a individual level. And the second way is physical at the beginning, then literacy and psychological. And the third way, is literacy first, psychological second, then finally physical. And the last one is physical, psychological, and then literacy. And I'm trying, to find some enough individual cases to support the 4 ways to, to alleviate digital poverty. But this is not enough. My recent research is trying to enrich the model and describe individual self-attributions of their digital poverty. Okay. And you see my model is moving, right? Moving in 4 ways.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Next page is definition of self-attribution. This definition is from not my research, it's from the psychology book. Self-attribution is trying to describe the process of a person's perception on why his big behaviors happen, how it will lead to the change of emotional and expectations, and thus how it directly impacts on future minds and behaviors. Okay, let's move to the second part, research questions. I have 3 research questions in this study. The first one, how do rural residents perceive and interpret digital poverty states they experienced? The second, whether the explanations they provided have certain patterns. The third one, can the research break through the traditional epistemology that digital poverty equals to psychological poverty, material poverty, and literacy poverty? This is my research questions. I hope that you can understand my questions. How about your understanding? Hey, guys? Okay, thank you. Hope I can give you very clear explanations of my research in very simple English. Okay. The third is methods. In the research, we employ field study to collect data, and 2 methods are employed in field study. First one, in-depth interviews. The second, focus group. And we also employ the grounded theory to analysis data we collected from field. And of course, text analytics, induction and repeated comparisons, and also open coding, extra coding, and selective coding, are used. Okay, next page, research process. In total, we spent 26 days in field of Tianzhu, Dongzhi of Jinhai in 2012. And these three counties provide us, more than 100 in-depth interviews. The number is 115 interviews, and also 8 focus groups. Finally, to build a model on self-attribution, we employed recognized 38 typical interviewees, including 19 male and 19 female. They are typical. We have some other samples or individuals which are very similar with 38 included in the research. Okay, next page, typical samples. Here, I organize a table to show you the basic information of the 38 interviewees. Please take a look. Take a quick look at the table. Okay, 3 pages in slides for the samples information. Okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 4 pages. Let's move to the next stage, findings. The part 4, findings. Okay, you see a picture in the, let me check, in page 19. There's a model, right? Okay. Can you see the model? Can you see the model here? On the page 19?
Yes.
Okay, good. The model is composed of 5 parts, including digital ability snowboard, digital efforts as traction, digital context as a black box, social support, and the digital world. Digital ability as a snowboard rose to the digital world from the traditional society. 4 kinds of abilities are mostly shaped and interacted. Digital physical ability is the foundation of digital ability, which determines the moving direction of digital ability. Digitally psychological ability and digitally economic ability came into being and interact with each other. Based on enough digitally physical ability, the level of which is powerful enough for digital behaviors. Enough interest and confidence will activate digital economic ability, such as the acquisition and purchase of digital devices and network connections. Certain digitally economic ability to conduct digital behavior may stimulate interest and confidence and accumulate a successful and happy, or at least not painful use experiences. Digital literacy can be formalized on basis of the other 3 abilities, and furthermore, determine whether or not and how much time they will spend on digital behaviors. Okay, this is the digitally snowboard, ability snowboard. And digital ability is continually strengthened as a snowboard with digital efforts of the digital porn. The time spent, puts the individuals with certain digital ability to digital world, and accumulated experiences pushes, digital behaviors. Whether the digital porn can successfully go into the digital world also depends on whether they can go through their digital context as black box. The reason why I use the concept of a black box to describe digital context is that the social individuals cannot always clearly feel and describe their context in digital behaviors. For average people, information infrastructure is not always visible, and sometimes even they are not informed. Social norms often control their psychology and behavior or retentions like an invisible power, especially when inherent social norms, social customs, and habits ethics, and epistemology on computer, the internet, other digital phenomena in rural areas have almost acted like shackles of a digital poverty alleviation. The lark in the context is more unpredictable. Individuals even cannot perceive it. Individuals are likely to get lost in digital world, though they have the basic ability and efforts, complemented by courage and behaviors through digital context and black box. Thus, they need social support to guide directions. Social institutions and relations provide the intellectual and the emotional support, while public places and other spaces can provide tangible support. This is the meaning of a social support. Okay. After the process, they will move into the digital world. So after the model, I will explain more detailed findings and evidences to support my model. Okay, page 20. First element is a digital ability. There are 4 abilities in this element. For example, the digital physical ability is kind of a physical condition where residents can finish that I cannot play computer with my poor eyes. I was a blacksmith and watering damaged my eyes. And another person also says, my diabetes situation resulted in poor eyes. I even don't watch TV, let alone computer. So this aspect is about digitally physical ability. Okay, this is the first aspect. The second, digital economic ability. This ability refers to people's economic standing, maintaining normal digital behaviors and ability to raise income. For example, except the ability to satisfy basic demands on life, whether or not or to what extent people can pay for the cost of access to and usage of digital equipment, whether or not or to what extent they can bear the bundled internet access service. This is the meaning of a digitally economic ability. The third one, digitally psychological ability, refers to the intelligence level required by the practitioners to complete behaviors. First, the majority of respondents think that they are not interested in computer and in the internet. For instance, one female interviewee said, I feel it too messy. Small arrow on the computer runs here and there. If I have the spirit of playing mahjong, I would already master skills to use computer. This is a very interesting, explanations on the no interest in the computer and the internet. And second, there are respondents mentioning the negative effects of confidence on their digital behaviors. If they don't have good experiences on computer, and in usual society, cause great psychology pressure on the residents, bringing them negative emotions, so that they could not accept computer and the internet as adopting radio and television, and even strongly rejected them. For example, I cite one interviews here. Some chats lead to the break of marriage, right? There is such kind of things in rural areas. I said you can chat, but don't disappear with your online friends from home. So I don't learn to chat online. The man can do that, but the woman cannot. Sometimes she here refers to her daughter. Okay, she chatted with male students online. I asked, who is this? I asked her directly. I said, how can you chat with boys? This is citations, words from a mother, young mother. She didn't help her daughter to chat with, strangers, especially male strangers. This is, one evidence to support the negative emotions, Okay, the last ability is digital literacy. Digital literacy is defined as digital consciousness, the skills and the techniques of using digital equipment and digital services, and digital information processing ability. This is digital literacy, okay? And next page, 21. You can see a table, right? You can see a table. This table sum up the typical, sort of a deficiency of digital ability. Each interviewee stands for a typical category for digital poverty abilities, and each interviewee is only, only himself or herself. This is a very special one, and it can stand for a specific category of digital poverty. Okay. Page 21, and the second element, page 22. Second element is digital efforts. I think this element is not difficult to understand. For example, how much time and how much energy you will spend on digital behaviors. And also after that, you will accumulate experiences. So time and experiences are the meanings of digital efforts. Okay, this is the second element, and on the page 20, on the page of 23, also a table. This table sum up typical cases, individual cases on the digital efforts. Just read the words in the descriptions. For example, the number of AH41. I have no leisurely mood and don't know how to use it. This is one description of his, description. Okay, and let's go to the third element. Third element is digital context. Digital context includes infrastructure, social norms, and luck. Infrastructure is not difficult to understand, right? Luck is also easy, but social norms maybe we need more, more evidences to support. On the page 25, another table shows that there are several typical, traditionally, cognitions on the digital context, on the social norms. For example, some guys, told us that the computer is an instrument of entertainment, easy to delay performance of a formal education. Children cannot use computer for a long time, especially in the stage of a compulsory, education. They are easy to be addicted to online games. This is one, traditional cognition from the rural residents. Okay, the second one, computer and the internet are young people's patent. The elderly should not and will not use them. This is very interesting. They, especially those senior people in the villages, they don't like, computers because they are old. They think they are old. The third one, in undeveloped areas, computer is still luxury and marriage for women's, dowry. And this is a very Chinese phenomenon. Maybe you guys as American women or gentlemen cannot understand the meaning of dowry. Can you understand dowry? The gifts from parents for the women who are going to marry this young man. Okay. And next one, rural residents don't understand computer. It's useless in the countryside. Earning money is more important than playing computer. Please mention the word of playing. They are playing computer. They are not using computer. They are not producing, or they are not making money from the computer. Computer is first a playing tool. Okay, and the next cognition is negative effects of computer. It's not good for the body, and the network is virtual. Also, housewives don't need it. there is too much temptation on the internet, and so on. And also another interesting idea or judgment on the computer is that computer belongs to the elite. Ordinary people don't need it, which means rural residents always think that they are common people. They are not the elite. So this is very interesting, Okay, the fourth element is social support. Okay, this is page 26. Social support includes tangible support like computers, site service, web connections, skills, education, training institutions. And another support is emotional support. Here, I put a little bit longer statement in the page 27. This interviewee is a teacher, a local teacher, and he said, our school is earliest one to develop a computer course. We always won prizes in computer events. At that time, Corman schools were good at mental calculation and abacus. Our computer course was distinguishing, and it really brought achievements. It isn't that good in the recent 2 years. They may feel that it is useless. People only behave for benefits. Does it still have benefits to school? Why not go out, for glory? This means, students in the primary school or middle school, if they can be enrolled by well-known schools or colleges, they will be, respected. They will have more glory, And so this sentence or this statement is kind of a lack of emotional support, the local villagers cannot get supports from the local institutions and the local education agency. Especially they cannot have very good skilled students. Even some young guys told us that the school teachers cut the computers courses and to leave space or leave the time for the main courses. Now, this is a very bad news for the China education. Okay, so we're coming to the final part, implications. This is page 28. Okay, in the implications, after the model, you must remember the digital poverty model we built. This model classifies perceived reasons for digital poverty by rural residents into 2 categories. Internal factors includes digital ability, digital efforts, and external factors like digital context and social support. So we can say the more elements can be divided into 2 categories. First one, internal factors. Second, external factors. Another sorting method is a stable and unstable courses. For example, digital ability, digital context, and the social support are relatively fixed and changing slowly, so they can be regarded as stable courses. The second is kind of unstable courses, like luck, right? Like for example, the growing rate of digital efforts. This is more easy to be changed. Okay, to change the former state is more difficult than the latter one. So this is the difference between stable and unstable courses. After my classifications on the factors, you can see the table on page 29, which is part of a strategy for digital poverty alleviation. And I propose strategies in terms of classifications like internal stable or external stable or internal unstable and external unstable. And the following 3 pages are all about the strategies for for us to to solve the digital poverty on individual level, especially on the very psychological, physical, and also economic and literacy level. Okay, for example, on page 29, the internal stable one, digital ability physical. Okay, on this level, I think we should improve the medical level and to input more money in the research and design on information technology. And then maybe we need more help and support by social relations to the, for example, disabled people, right? This is one of the strategies for the internal stable, sort of a digital ability. Okay, and you can say on page 30 and page 31, there are more strategies for other in the categories of digital poverty alleviation. I don't think I have enough time to give you more detailed, explanations on the strategies. If you are interested, please refer to my paper, and this paper will be published on in the national on the Library Science of Journal of the Library Science of China English version, volume 6, which will be published, by end of this year. And also, you can get the paper full text from me. On the last page, 33, I offer my telephone number, email, and website, and also my Facebook account and Skype account. Anyway, this is the end of my lecture. I feel very honored, to be part of your lecture, and also I still remember the times, the moments when I sitting in this classroom. And anyway, thank you guys, and I hope you can propose questions or comments on my research. Okay, the time is over for me, maybe. Okay, thank you. Hey, I cannot hear you. What's wrong? Oh. Hey, Terry? Oh.
Okay, test.
Oh,
hey, wait,
okay,
can you hear us now?
Good.
Okay,
Yeah, of course. Pretty good. Yeah.
You can still go ahead. We're still connected to him, even though it's not plugged in.
Okay, so
Okay.
can you hear me?
Oh, yeah,
We should
Terry.
still be able to hear you.
How's it going?
Okay, well, I have a couple of questions. One,
Okay.
I was fascinated by the reference to the dowry for marriageable women, I assume. And I'm wondering if the dowry is only towards the ability to have a computer, or if it also may be an advantage for a woman to have computer skills in terms of being marriageable. Can you comment on that cultural phenomena in rural China?
I'm sorry, it's not very clear.
Okay.
Can you say a little bit,
Well, while we're translating that,
My computer
I would
screen
like
was
to,
blank.
the other item that interested me a great deal was your inclusion of the term luck in variables. I wonder if you could talk a little bit more about that than you did in your presentation, because that's unusual in our social science research to put a component luck into one of the variables.
Okay. You have more explanations on the strategies, right? On the internal or external.
Yeah, I mean, I can bring the chat window back over. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear clearly about your voices from there.
Wait, can you see the text window? We're trying to type it into you.
Okay, pretty good. This will help me a lot, you know. Why include luck as a variable? Okay, very interesting question. Because it's really hard to delete it, you know. Luck is emerged in the model of self-attribution in psychology. You know, this is a very key point in the psychology, and also in my research, I found that several rural residents, they think they are not in a very good situation. They are not good. They have no good luck. For example, they have no computer skilled neighbors. They have no skilled daughters or sons. I think this kind of a luck maybe give a very good explanations to their situation. I have no other more better variables to describe such situations.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. And Terry, how's going with you?
Oh, fine. Thank you.
Fine. Okay, good. Do take care. Yep.
Other questions? If you can't hear you, we'll type the questions in. Okay, come up. You might be able to hear you.
Hi, Hui. Yeah, I'm Nina.
Hello.
Yeah.
Nice to see you here.
Yeah. So I will in Chinese first, and then I'll translate my question in English.
Okay, please.
在你的那个 PPT 里面，你就提到了那个就是农民的信息贫困，就是他们不能 afford 的那个电脑。那么就我想知道这个政府在这个ICT 的这个 infrastructure 这方面做的怎么样？因为我原来学出版的，就是05年的时候，新闻出版总署他们就发起了一个农家书屋的工程。那这个农家书工程，它对于这个就是偏远地区的农民的这个信息素养，它起到了一个什么样的作用？就你们有没有做这方面的评估或者调查 ？Okay. Yeah, and I will translate my question into English. In his presentation, he mentioned the infrastructure that's in the rural area because many rural residents, they can't afford the computer. So in 2005, the Chinese government, they launched the rural library project, which will donate many books. And recently, they always donate computers to these libraries. So I want to know how these rural libraries to facilitate the digital literacy to the rural citizens.
There is no rural library in Zhejiang.
Okay. It's a very Chinese question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you expecting my good comments on government or bad comments on government?
Both.
Okay. The truth is, I will give you a very interesting case in our field study. In Anhui province, we did a very tiny research on the government project named public reading rooms, public electronic reading rooms. It's kind of, CTC in USA. The public reading rooms is based in the community level, and also based in rural areas. Each site will have, several computers. The computers should be connected with internet. But, reality is we visited 3 sites. in the projects in Anhui province. No one computer can be connected, can support our, access to the internet. It's a bad news, but this is the truth. This is a reality in China. Most of the projects, most of the reading rooms and computers set there are for visitors from government. They are not for usage. They are only for the visits, the official visits. You can understand me, right?
Yep.
Okay, this is I think this is typical situations in China. I will not say it's totally bad. Maybe it's good because, for example, we discovered that the point why the computer cannot be accessed with internet is the manager is part-time. They are not professional. They are only part-time students from villages, and they don't consider the public reading rooms as their profession. They don't even spend any time in that center. They just what they just need to do is open the door for the governments, for the officials, and push the power on and power off on the computer. When I say the case, I feel very bad because this is money from taxpayers. This is our money, but they are wasted. Although it's not totally wasted, but almost wasted. Okay.
I wanted to jump in here with an experience that I had yesterday, or was it the day before, because we have this same problem of lack of vision and lack of understanding of what to do with these resources here. Well, this is the same, but also different. So what I saw was that the Clark Lindsay Village Volunteers Program had sort of faltered because students had graduated and no one had picked up the ball. And there was a sense of not enough community informatics knowledge among the people who were standing by to know how to restart it. And when the meeting happened and volunteers came to the meeting who were more than ready to volunteer, there was a hesitancy and a confusion over, there were negative things said in the meeting that would discourage volunteership instead of people understanding how crucial it is to be able to do cyber navigating and cyber organizing. So in this course, we talk about the concept of the informatics moment, and we say, okay, there's individuals that are facing that informatics moment, but the whole society is as well. And I was really gratified that the volunteers grabbed the ball because the program's going to start up again. But if you don't understand just how crucial cyber navigating is, and you don't understand how to explain cyber organizing, how we're grassrooting the space that flows, and you can't hold on to those important ideas, then you can get disoriented and you can end up with the computers turned off and the electronic reading room locked, or the public access computers in the library not serving the patrons as well. So I think these dislocations are everywhere. The thing that I wanted to propose, Hui, and maybe you've already thought of this, is that this study focuses on asking people who are suffering from digital poverty. It would be interesting to do a study of those people who have overcome digital poverty to hear their successful stories, because you can learn from the problems, but you could also learn from the successes. And it might balance the picture more.
Yep. Don't only pay attention to the failures, but also, on the successful cases, right?
Right.
Good suggestion. Okay. Oh, Abdul.
Ni hao.
Oh, nice to see you. Ni hao.
The question I have is, what are your plans for sharing your research findings with the people who you studied? How are you going to bring your research findings back to the village?
Okay, this is a challenge. But because of the fields we went to is far from Nankai University, but I think we have special people or a special person who are in charge of our connections. For example, you remember the Wang Ming who contact the Jinghai for us, right? I think we have many bridges. At least we have one bridge for each side. And you must remember the Jinghai County of Tianjin, where we spent 1 week there. The village, especially the village leaders, have a very high expectations on my research. I hope definitely I will bring my research findings to the village in the near future. The first one, bridges, the second, I hope that I will have a second visit after I got enough funding, after maybe 5 or maybe no more than 5 years. I need to follow their behaviors, especially the self-attributions will have impact on their behaviors. By now, we have just discovered the patterns of self-attribution. After 5 or 10 years, maybe we have to discover their self-attributions. Now, how the attributions now can influence or impact their behaviors 10 years later. And this is another way to be connected with research, our interviewees. And third one, maybe I need more students. I need more followers, For example, young students in Nankai University, maybe they can join me. I'm sure, from this year on, I became the supervisor for master students on our campus. And definitely I will bring them to the field, to discover more interesting connections between, the successful cases and the failure cases. And also, I hope that more collaborations between you and my research can be feasible, can be possible.
It's important in community informatics always to remember that the community are not only objects of our study, but they are subjects that we must collaborate with and look to for the information that we require, so that research really depends on the community. And look at them as agents of change, as agents representing their own interests. I know you believe that, but I'm also speaking to the class.
Yep. We are not only a researcher, we are part of a society, right? And they are part of our society. Sometimes they are a researcher. Maybe they are doing research on me. They are still, guessing what can I bring them? What can I do for them, right? I hope we can do more, in the field of study. And also, I'm very interested in action research. Next stage, if I get more funds from government or other institutions, more action research will be happen, in our research fields. Okay. Thank you, Abdul.
Hi, Nankai.
Hi. Hello.
你研究的是信息贫困，我研究的是信息富裕，所以听得见吗？
Of course, a little bit, noisy,
OK， 我说的是你研究的是信息贫困，我研究的是信息驱动力和信息富裕的问题，所以 about your economic,
okay.
Yeah.
Which means you are on the right side of digital divide. I'm on the right side of digital divide, right?
关于这个经济因素，我觉得作为一个或者是在社会习惯上面，或者是农民的他的心理的预期方面，我觉得需要一个从他的心理预期到这个一个 literacy， 他的能力需要一个驱动力了，一个内在的 internal power。我觉得中国的农民来说，也许是经济的驱动力会更大，所以他去通过电脑掌握电脑技术，他能够获取财富，我觉得可能这是他最大的一个使用的驱动力。所以其实我研究了很长时间的农村的电子商务，也发现了很多成功的案例，比如说像清河， 整个村子的农民都通过一个人，他去在网上卖这个羊绒获得财富，搬到镇上面，每年的收入都是2000万左右的这样一个规模。而且现在农村的电子商务也有非常大的发展。我不知道我们这样子的一个我们这个信息的贫困或者是数字的能力等等的这些研究，怎么跟这种电子商务进行进一步的结合了？未来的研究会不会往这个方面去走
Okay.
So a little bit of English.
Okay. You have to translate, man.
Yeah.
This is very important for, the students around you to understand our conversation. Okay.
What I say is that what we studied is about digital poverty, but my research is on digital richness. Yes, and I have been studying about some rural people's e-commerce behaviors. So I think there are many, maybe 20 cases about rural people do their business on the online and get richness. Yes, especially in my province, in a small county called Qinghe, the people sold this kind of online, and get very big money, and then they moved from the rural resident area to the city, to the town, and the whole village are becoming rich. Wow. So I think maybe our study should be connected with, especially for the Chinese farmers. I think that maybe the digital literacy may need internal drive, internal power. Yeah. For Chinese peasant, for Chinese farmer, I think maybe the economic driver, the economic, power, opportunity is the biggest driver power. So that's so I hope I think maybe in the future we may pay more attention on the digital power and the connection with the empowerment. Yeah. So that's my question. Okay.
All right. Thank you for translating. Because we are long time translating, I have enough time to think about your question, It's pretty good. I think you're talking about, minority. You're not talking about majority, right? You can understand me.
I hope in the future it will become the majority. Yes, actually it's minority,
But I believe that only a small part of a majority can change into a minority. I'm sorry. Only a little part or very few, individuals in the majority can move on to the minority. And this is I think this is a reality of the society. And although I know there are many, many successful cases in the villages to become rich by ICT, but I think the most important or most difficult, difficult things is to overcome their traditionally cognition on the digital devices. For example, computer is not only entertainment. Computer is more like a producing tool, more like a it's not about only about consuming, it's about producing. We can be empowered by computer, by ICT, but I believe that there's still a long way to go for more and more, rural residents to recognize that computer can help them to improve their lives, not only change their students to a bad degree, but also to a better life. That's my opinion. And also, I think it'll be very hard, very, very hard for the rural residents to realize the truth of the internet, especially in China. Okay.
Okay.
Understand me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much for staying up late and talking to us. Thank everyone for listening and tolerating with our technical glitches. We will see you again soon.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay.